guys, and praise the Lord. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome back to another episode of All Things Love with the Sergeants. My name is Wendy.
Of course, my name is Mbugua. You can call me Jose. And thank you once again for the love that you've continued to show us. Thank you for the viewership that you've continued to give our previous video. Thank you for every new subscriber. Thank you for every one of you who shared our content. We love you and we thank God for you. And like we promised you, we are outdoor once again. This is because we want you to have a good feel of our surrounding, where we live, where we stay, and the things that surround us as we celebrate the beauty in the world of love.
Yes, so it's another episode of All Things Love, and today we are talking about something that is related to love, and that is long distance relationships. Do they work? My goodness, do they work?
Do they?
Utawezaje kudate mtu anaishi 5
Burundi.
counties away and
3 countries,
I know,
4 continents.
I know. Is it hopeless when somebody tells you that, you know, we are in a relationship, but I need to travel, I need to go?
Should you be worried? Should be a signal of like it's all done and dusted?
Is it a red flag if they go wakienda utawai waona tena? Do they really work? Do you think they work?
Well, they do, and
I would say
well,
it
they
depends.
don't.
Yeah.
It depends. It depends on the people,
Yeah.
because it's a dating life that really needs special grace,
True.
special dedication,
Yeah.
special commitment.
Yeah.
Everything special.
Yeah.
Because, well, the person who's doing dating one-on-one is taking, like, let's say 10%. You have to give 110%.
Yeah. You're giving double a normal relationship if you're in a long distance relationship. Like the work is double or triple, like it's way more than a normal relationship. So you just can't afford to relax when you're in a long distance relationship and expect it to work. Like it will take so much work.
Yes, because like for us, our dating life, 70% of it was long distance.
Yeah. We've
70.
known each other so well when you were in a long distance space, actually.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I think for me was the motive.
The motive.
You know, when you remember the motive of something, because the motive is pretty much the end game of something, you continue being aggressive in investing in it.
Yeah, what's the purpose of this relationship in the first place? Are we getting married? Are we heading somewhere? Because if you're just dating for fun, then I'm sure you don't have that energy to keep up with a long distance relationship. But if you know that there's something that I want to achieve after a period of time, then you definitely put in all the work. However hard it is going to get, you'll know that it is worth it, because at the end of it all, there's something I want to achieve. But you've not told them why we actually were in a long distance relationship.
Yes, and I think it's time you share why.
So after we knew each other, we went out on several dates, and so I was supposed to go back to school for my 4th year. I was in my 4th year of campus, and
Actually, your last sem.
no, actually it's a whole year.
Oh yeah, you did 2 semesters.
Yeah,
I remember.
yeah. So I was in my last year of campus, and so we had just started to know each other. And that time I was just at home. I think I was on a holiday when we met.
Yes.
Yeah. So when we got to know each other, I told him that actually I am not done with school. And my school
have like
is in
2 semesters to chapa.
Yeah, and it is in Taita Taveta. I used to study in Taita Taveta University, and he's here in Nairobi. So you can imagine how far Taita is from Nairobi. And I needed to go back for a whole year to finish school. So for me, actually, he took advantage, because that is the time he actually asked me to be his girlfriend. I was like, are you serious? Like, I'm just telling you, I'm about to go for a whole year in so many counties away.
You're never ready until you know you're ready.
Actually, I felt like it wouldn't work. In fact, I just said yes. And I didn't know whether I was saying yes. I was not believing in this relationship, but I just said yes to just see how it's going to work.
It was a gamble for you.
Yeah, for me, honestly, it was a gamble at first.
I wasn't sure, because for me, this is the one thing that I've always told myself. It is not the distance that breaks the bond. It's the intention that breaks the bond. You can be meeting daily, and you people, physically you're together. Emotionally, psychologically, you're long distance.
True.
So it's the intention. So for me, I was very intentional, and I was like, you know what? I know this is it. I know it is not easy, But for what it is worth it, I will be very intentional to guard it, to work for it. And that's why I never struggled to call.
Yeah.
I never struggled to visit.
Yeah.
I never struggled with the question of sasa uko wako wako na dadi.
Yeah, yeah.
Niko hapa hivi, am I investing on a relationship alone? So for me it's the intention. So be very intentional. Even if you're not doing a long distance, be intentional, because it's the intention.
Yeah.
It's the intention that breaks the bond. That's why sometimes you even hear people who are married and they're in the same roof, but they don't see each other eye to eye.
Yeah.
Because of what?
And they are so close distance, like, and it's not working. It's not working. So being long distance does not determine whether it will work or not. But that's true.
So it's the intention.
Yeah.
The other thing is, when you remember, it is God in this.
Oh yeah, we had committed this to God.
Oh, from day one, from day one. And that's why I remember she shared this in our previous video, how shocking it was for me to pray on our first date.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I have lived to know that I am the sum total of the doings of God. And if I'm the sum total of the doings of God, then I have to seek Him.
Yeah.
And I have to tell Him, you know what? If this is of you, oh God, then I leave it to you. I'm not even to struggle. You know, if she cheats, God umeona, Wendy amecheat on, not me. So I had released it.
Yeah.
And as I released it to God, I released it with knowing my part and God's part. So even as you date,
you can only do too much.
I tell you, I mean, sorry to say, but we've seen even people who live in the same apartment, but they're cheating on the same floor. You know, because of the intention. So the fidelity on long distance is key.
Yeah.
Because again, you're very much tempted.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was surrounded by people who would keep telling me, "Mdemu wa shule."
Ati yako wapi, anasomea shule gani hiyo?
Wewe hata ushaienda Taita Taveta.
Unajua kona nani sahi? I think one of the requirements is trust. If you don't trust your partner,
that's what I wanted you to raise.
It won't work. You really need to trust your partner. Kama anaenda majuu for 2 years, if you don't have trust you me, it will not work. You need to trust your partner.
Yes, and also be very honest. If you know it's not going to work, wacha kijana wa wenyewe na matumaini. Mtu anasevia rorasho, kumbe unapanga rorasho ingine.
I know, guy, me I've seen stories. Mtu anaenda majuu anakuja na bibi mwingine na mtoto. Honestly, if you knew you didn't want to push through with this one that you have left, why did you promise them that you'll come back and they sat there waiting for you? Like, you need to be very honest. Be honest with yourself if you really want to continue pursuing this. Be honest with your partner so that they know whether they should wait and whether it is even worth it to wait. Don't just go there and start another relationship. Yes, like you've said, it's tempting when you're all alone in a different place, you're lonely, you're meeting other people. It is hard to even stay on your own, but you need to be honest. You need to be honest. Alafu, also in that part of honesty, si partner wako asikiange, unafanya vitu zingine zenye umwambi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing that, again, you also need to learn is how do I bring my partner virtually, make them virtually present?
Yeah.
In that, like now, I was virtually present in her studies.
Yeah.
From the simple point of, ulienda job, umeenda class, umetoka class,
yeah.
You know, I was having an event, umeenda event.
Make use of this. This is what keeps relationships when they are long distance. There is no other way. Make use of your phone.
Communication is key, because it's only through communication that you're going to bring them virtually present.
Yeah.
And also, again, understand and appreciate that sometimes out of sight can be out of mind.
Yeah.
And therefore, you have to be very intentional to tattoo them.
Yeah.
Like virtually tattoo them around you.
Yeah.
Ghost them around you. Like, ujama yupo, you know? That I wouldn't go somewhere. The member that you're not there doesn't give me the liberty to go.
Yeah, without saying, without communicating.
Yeah.
Like, Leon, naenda this and this place. I think you actually knew my whole schedule when I was in school. This one would have told you when he's in Nairobi what I am doing in Taita Taveta.
It's 3 p.m.
On Tuesday at the
She's either having practice of praise and worship.
Yeah.
She's on prayer mountain.
Yeah. I'm attending a class. I'm visiting a friend. We used to talk so much. You would have thought we are together. We used to do a lot of video calls because it's been long since we saw each other. So what are you doing? I'm in class. I'm with a friend. I'm doing something. Like I went out. I went for shopping. Like communicate. It's not like somebody's bossing you around, but it's always good to let them know what you're doing so that they feel close to you. Unless you talk it out, they will not feel so close to you. They'll feel distant, and probably now that will weaken the bond. But the bond will be strengthened if you continue keeping in touch. Just stay in touch, talk. It is not a sin to talk every day. I hear people asking that what
He's all over me.
chat every day. You're supposed to chat every day. What do you mean whether you're supposed to talk every day?
You can imagine if you're going to get married, you're going to spend more time together.
Yes, this is the person you want to get married to, and you're asking whether you should be talking every day. I mean, me usually by the way in I'm talking.
But you see, baby, what is the problem? If you're not a priority in my life, you'll be a nag.
Yeah.
So I think the other problem with most long distance relationships is that have you made him a priority? Have you made her a priority? Because if she's a priority, you will not be caught in the cushion of out of mind, out of sight.
Yeah.
You'll always be able to know that hayupo. But kwa sababu ni priority yangu, I'll even call them, pray with them. Yeah, like sometimes I'll call her and she's in pain. I'm like, I am virtually far.
Yeah, but I would feel you close just because you're there for me, you're talking to me, we are constantly talking. And yeah, another thing is consistency. Don't just be nice the first few days, first few weeks, and then after a while sasa kuna inconsistency. Leo atuongei, after 2 days atuongei, then tunaongea next week. Then
when you are bored, that's when if you don't make your partner a priority, whether present or far, there will not be anything good for you. Because you'll be like, utakuwa unapata watu wengine wanakuzunguka, na if hao ndio wamekuzunguka, you'll easily forget them. So be very aware that they are not present, but make them virtually present by making them a priority, by communicating, by being honest, and also knowing one thing: long distance relationship is so tempting. Oh God. Oh God, you'll hear people telling each other they are being taken out. Your nigger or your brother or your sister, you know, your partner is in Burundi.
Miles away.
In Rwanda. You know, time zones are not even allowing you at unaweza Java, umweke kwa kamera hivi, wewe ukulage akiwa Java ya Nairobi, here akiwa Java ya US somewhere to buy. So it's very tempting. And therefore you need to raise your level of discernment. You know? Because I think one of the things that we are lacking in relationship is discernment. Hatuko discerning. Tuko too evil. So raise your level of discerning by understanding and appreciating that they might not be present, but I'll have to be very faithful. You know, I'll be tempted because of the people who are surrounding me. But the time that I get, I'll also try and go. Another
requirement is the last one probably. It's sacrifice. You have to accept to sacrifice for the one you love in terms of money, in terms of time. Like I remember you used to come and visit me in Voi. When I am not so busy, he would sacrifice to take a leave from work and come all the way to Taita Taveta to see me. Something that not everybody would have done. You know,
it's a boring journey. Oh God.
Thank you.
The only thing you see are elephants and antelopes.
I know it's not easy. Ama, you will even send money so that I come to Nairobi and that we'll get a chance to talk and even have a date when I'm not so busy. So long distance relationship calls for sacrifice. You might not be able to sacrifice in terms of visiting maybe when somebody is in another country, but whatever you can, if it's money, if you need to send them something on a holiday so that they feel nice, just go ahead and do it. If you need to send them a card that will make them feel good, just go ahead and do it. If you need to buy credo mingi there for long, just do it. Do it. It's worth it. If it's a person you love, then it's definitely
drop a voice note. For us, voice notes were magic.
I know.
Do a video. But so therefore, always know, and I want to repeat it again. It is not the distance that breaks the bond. It's the intention.
True.
You might be physically present, but because intentions zenu ni tofauti, you'll be physically away. And therefore, if you have a question regarding the same on long distance, feel free to hit our social media platforms. What are your socials?
Wendy Mbugua on Facebook and Mbugua_Wendy on Instagram.
Absolutely. And I'm at Jose_the Sergeant on Instagram, on Twitter, and on Facebook. And therefore, keep the hope alive of understanding that even far, it still works.
Yeah.
And even closer, it might not be able to work. So be very intentional to make it work. Bye bye for now, and God bless you.
Bye.